So as you can see, it is chucking it down with rain in my neighborhood. By the time I film this, it might have stopped, but I just wanted you to see how cool it is.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Lauren Reed Color. As you can probably hear in the background, it is really chucking it down here today, but we will soldier on and persevere through the thunder and the lightning. Anyway, in today's video, I will be sharing my year in review, all of the pages that I colored, all of the goals that I completed or didn't complete. I will be participating for this purpose in Karen from My Colorful Country Life's wonderful reflections tag. So I will be answering all of the questions that she poses. And this is going to be a little bit longer than my usual videos. So grab your favorite beverage and perhaps a coloring page, and let's get started. So the first of Karen's questions is, which 10 pages are your favorite of the year? So I am going to show you my 10 pages. They are in no particular order, although I might tell you which one is my absolute favorite. Anyway, to begin with, we have Språkjes Boss by Tomislav Tomic. And the page that I really enjoyed coloring this year is this one. So yeah, this page I enjoyed, even though it was a bit of a challenge. So for example, the details are really, really tiny, and coloring this bottom section was a bit of a challenge because I wasn't sure what was leaves, what was grass, what was background, but overall I really loved the page. One of the reasons I really enjoyed it is because of the color scheme. I enjoyed doing the sunset background, and I enjoyed using my Castle Arts pencils on this paper. It is really nice and thick, and it takes the Castle Arts really beautifully. So yeah, it was a really enjoyable page. I was able to relax for most of it, not the background, as I said, but coloring the deer was relaxing, coloring the background, and I love the end result. So this is one of my favorite pages of 2025. Okay. Next, I have my project book, which is Daydreams by Hannah Carlson, and there are 2 pages in this book that I absolutely adored coloring. The first one is this double page spread, which I called Bloomsville. So yeah, I colored this while I was watching, I think it was Dateline in the background. I had it on in the background, and it was very relaxing as I was listening to all these terrible cases of people killing each other. Anyway, so the background is Neocolor 2. Everything else is based with watercolor pencils, and then it is polychromos pencils on top. So I colored all of these houses and the flowers, and I really found the whole process very, very relaxing. Coloring the leaves and the flowers was particularly lovely, and I love this color scheme and the end result. So this was a fun page to color. And another page in this book that is one of my favorites of the year is this one, the Mice Ahoy page. So this one is also colored with Neocolor 2 in the background and Derwent Colorsoft pencils on top. It's Derwent Colorsoft for the kettle, and it's Inktense for the waves, and then Derwent also Colorsoft on top. And for the mice, it's Derwent Pro Color. So coloring animals is one of my absolute favorite things to color. So this has that aspect of it. And I also loved learning this new technique for coloring the waves. So this technique is something I learned from coloring with Olivier. So basically, as I said, it's Inktense, and then it's the pencil, and then it is lots and lots of acrylic paint dabbed on with a Q-tip, and then acrylic marker for the bubbles and the lines on the waves. So yeah, this was a lovely new technique that I learned. So this is one of my favorite pages. Okay, so that's Daydreams by Hannah Carlson. Another page that I really loved is also in a book by Hannah Carlson. This time it's Tales from the Forest Kingdom, and it is this Wise Old Owl. yeah, this was a really fun page to color. I had this plan in 2025 to color 12 owl pages, because in 2024 I managed to color 12 cat pages. But that plan just disintegrated very early on, I think in February. And so I wasn't able to do that. Nevertheless, I did manage to color 3 owl pages, and this is one of them, and it is one of my favorite pages. So I used, again, Neocolor 2s in the background, and it's Polychromos pencils on top. And for the owl, it's also lots and lots of Polychromos. I think I based the owl and the jacket with Inktense, and then it's, as I said, Polychromos, and I really enjoyed coloring this owl. Getting this suede jacket was a challenge, but I think I was quite successful in the end, and of course I love the color palette. So yeah, this is another one of my favorite pages. I have kept all of my my colors to take over onto the facing page. So I want these 2 pages to have similar palettes, and so when I eventually get to this page, I will use the same colors. Yeah, so that is Tales from the Forest Kingdom. Okay, another favorite page is in Dark Fairy Tales by Kirby Rosans. So my favorite page of the year in this book is, yes, the Snow White and the Rose Red page. So this book is all of the traditional fairy tales with a dark twist to them. And in Kirby's original artwork, all of these animals, the squirrel, the rabbit, the snake, the crow, and the deer's head, are all really harsh and, dare I say it, grotesque looking. And I wanted to soften that a little bit. So one of the reasons this page is one of my favorites is because I managed to soften the look of the animals. I made them look less zombie-like. So that was a cool achievement. And as I said earlier, I love coloring animals, so it was double the fun there. Another reason I really enjoyed this page is because of the background. So I used Neocolor 2s, and then it was Castle Arts for shading. And I like the glow that I got around the lanterns. Yes, and then these like shards of light going into the background itself. So that was a cool technique that I will try to duplicate in the future. And I also enjoyed coloring the roses, the white roses and the red roses. Coloring the girls was a little bit more challenging. I needed to make sure that I got the pleats in their skirts, and I wanted to make sure that they had white shirts, and sometimes that's difficult to do because you have to use gray, and if you use too much then it looks gray and not white, but I think it came out quite well here. And of course I also had a challenge with the hair. I wanted her to be a brunette and her a blonde. The blonde was fine, but the brunette kept coming out blonde, and I needed to darken her up a little bit, so I used black, which is always a risk. Anyway, but I really love how it came out in the end, and it's, as I said, one of my favorites of 2025. Okay, so that's that one. Another favorite page for 2025 is in Die Welt unter die Lupe zu Lande by Rita Berman, The World Under the Microscope or the Magnifying Glass. And the page that I colored here was this Critters collage. So this was also fun. Again, I used, I think it was Castle Arts pencils for this one. And yeah, I think it was Castle Arts. Most of my pages this year were Castle Arts. It was my most turned to medium. That might be another question, so I'll talk about that a little later. And yeah, so I loved coloring this one. I wanted to get it so that each section of the page, in terms of the color scheme, reflected the continent or the country that it came from. So yellows and greens for Africa, pinks and purples for Europe, blues and purples for the North Pole, and tropical colors for South America. So I think that overall I achieved my goal, and I also managed to get a cohesive look to it. So yeah, this was a really, really fun page to color. The paper is a little bit more smooth and thin than I was expecting, but I think it took the mediums quite well. So I can't remember if I also used any water mediums. I don't think so. I think it was all pencils. Yeah, so that's Rita Berman's Hidden Earth. This is her new version of this. The larger version is called Hidden Earth. Okay, the next page that I really enjoyed coloring this year is in Fairy Celebrations by Klara Markova. And the page that I colored is the Swan and the Signet. So this is actually my favorite page of the year. Yeah, so this one was colored using Prismacolors, and one of the challenges with this was getting all of these flowers to be pink, but different shades of pink. So I really tried very hard to not be too repetitive there. And of course, I really enjoyed coloring the swan and her feathers and the Signet. So again, as I already said, I love coloring fur, so this came out really, really beautifully. I'm really happy with the end result. I think it just, it just manifests everything that I enjoy about coloring. And yeah, so that's my favorite page of 2025. Okay, and another favorite is in Animal Wonderland Special by Kanoko Ikusa. Okay, so the page that I loved coloring this year, no, not that one, is this one, the Meadow Mischief page. So this page is a Color With Me series up on the channel. I started by coloring the fox fur. There is a tutorial for how I did that. And then people asked me if I would complete the page on the channel, and I agreed. So everything that you see, there are videos for every section. So the background, the trees, the flowers, all videos, and there's a playlist collection for all of the videos. Okay, so yeah, I really enjoyed coloring this. It was both entertaining and enjoyable and not so relaxing because I was coloring it for the channel. I was a little bit stressed to make sure that it would come out great, but I think it did in the end. And so I think it's a favorite because it was both a color along on the channel that I was eager to do a good job for, and I think I did, and also because I love coloring fur. I'm not as much of a fan at coloring flowers, so that is also another reason that I like it, because I did a good job with that as well. Yeah, so another favorite for 2025. And then two more. I think this is number 9. So my favorite page, one of my favorite pages, yes, is in Mythomorphia by Kirby Rosans. And the favorite in this book is this double page spread of the Starlight Stallions. So yeah, this one was a project. I did it over, I think, 2 months. So I did the background. It's Neocolor 2s and then not Castle Arts. It's Neocolor 2s and Derwent Color Soft on the background, and lots of gel pen. And I also blended the pencil with odorless mineral spirits. Yes. So if you're interested, there is also a tutorial for how I did this background on the channel. And then I did the horses. So the horse on the right, the black one, is done with Derwent Color Soft, and the horse on the left is done with Derwent Pro Color. So yeah, I love the way this page came out. And while it took me quite a while to complete, it was really relaxing overall. I love the whole process of doing Derwent Color Soft over Neocolor. It's really a lovely process that I enjoy doing. So that's Mythomorphia. And then last but not least, we have a page in Enchanted Forest by Johanna Basford. And my favorite page in this one is the Duck Pond. So this one was done using Inktense and Caran d'Ache Pablo pencils. I love those pencils for getting a muted style page, and I think it really did the job. One of the reasons I love this page, and it's one of my favorites, is because it was a buddy color with Christine from Sync Colors. And when we are coloring together, we do a lot of chatting. So we, compare our pages at different stages, and we talk about the challenges that we're facing. And it makes the whole process of coloring a page that much more enjoyable. So thank you so much, Christine, for being my buddy. And I look forward to doing our buddies in this book in 2026, because we are going to continue our pages. Right, so that is Enchanted Forest, and those are my 10 favorite pages in 2026. So let's move on to the next question. Okay, so the next question is, which is your most liked page on Instagram, and is it different from your favorite pages? So yes, it is different from my favorite pages. The page that was most liked on Instagram, I think it got over 1,000 likes, and I was shocked. I think it's the most liked page ever, is this one, The Nature Scenes in Small Victories by Johanna Basford. And I was really shocked and surprised that this got so many likes, because it is a page where I was testing out mediums. So for example, each one of these little vignettes is colored with a different set of pencils, and I try to still get a cohesive look to all of the little scenes, and I think I actually achieved that quite well. So the first one, this one is all Polychromos. This one is all Prismacolor. This one is all Caran d'Ache Luminance. This one is Derwent Colorsoft, Castle Arts, and Caran d'Ache Pablos. So after this entire experiment, I felt that this paper is excellent for trying out mediums, and I've done other pages in it since then. It's a project book on the channel, so we are coloring it together in our Saturday Snippets videos. So for example, we've also done this one, and the page we are currently working on is the teacups. Yes, the teacups and the teapot. So this is what we've done so far. Yeah, so this is our project book. And so the pencils that I figured that, I determined that the pencils that I like the most on this paper are the Luminance. They really shine on this paper. So this is, as I said, a project book. If you want to join in with us, we are coloring it in our Saturday Snippets features every Saturday, of course. Okay, so that is my most liked page, which is in Small Victories by Johanna Basford. The next question is, did you set any goals for the year, and did you meet them? And the answer is both yes and no. So I did set goals in the beginning of the year. Here they are, and I met some of them, and I did not meet others. So the very first goal was a total failure. I wanted to color 6 pages in Romantic Country by Eerie, because that is the book that I've colored in the most, and it's a book that I want to finish. I only managed to color 2, so that was not a success. Nevertheless, I did manage to color 6 Hannah Carlson pages. In fact, I colored more. Jade Summer, I colored 0 pages, so that was a total failure as well. And in fact, I've decided to destash my book. I have one Jade Summer book. It is a collection of 4 different books together, and I just don't like the paper, so I'm going to destash that book. I also colored 6 Johanna pages. Yes, I colored 6 pages in various Johanna Basford books. I did not manage to color in 6 Coloring Heaven books. I think I colored 3 or 4. I did manage to color 12 mythographic pages. In fact, I colored 17 overall. I am going to be doing a video where I showcase all of the mythographic pages I completed this year for Erica at Elm Colors hashtag. Color every day. Well, we're not yet at the end of December. It is the 29th, but I am sure that I will color all of the rest of the days of the year. So this is a goal that I have met. Maintain this coloring planner. As you can see, that has been very successful. I have worked through the entire year, keeping track of everything. I love my coloring planner. It really helps me color more. So I did that. A begin anime drawing. Nope, that was a failure. color 12 owl pages. As I said, I wanted to color 12, but I did not succeed. I did 3. 4 Kirby single and double pages. Yes, I have definitely achieved that goal. I wanted to create a palette book for Sarah Renee Clark's color catalog, which I have in digital form. In the end, I didn't do that, but I did purchase her color cube. So I think I might start a palette book for her color cubes next year as one of my goals. I also wanted to do a palette book for Naomi Kuno's practical color combinations, but that one also didn't work out. I wanted to swatch all my Thule art pens. I have swatched some of them, but not all of them. I wanted to date all my finished coloring pages, so this is a project that I started. I managed to do quite a few. I still have some still to go. And of course, to plan for 2026. This one is a goal that I have succeeded. In fact, I can take my pen and I can tick that one. Yes, so yeah, still got a couple of goals still to do, but most of them are done. And here at the back of the book, of my planner, I have my focus goals where I have marked off everything that I've done. So 2 Romantic Country, 6 Hannah Carlson, 6 Johanna Basford, 4 Coloring Heaven magazine, 17 Mythographic, so it's all full. 3 owl pages, definitely did 4 Kirby Roseanne's. I think I did more than that. I colored in 12 new books, but I actually colored in more than 12. And I did 2 Kanoko Igusa pages. So yeah, overall, I think I did pretty well with my goals, and I'm pleased with my coloring year. Let's go on to the next question. Right, the next question is, how many books did you color in this year? And the answer is 43. I'm really happy with that because I also managed to color some books that I hadn't touched in a while. So for example, one book that was untouched for much of 2024 was Shakespeare's World, and I managed to color 2 pages in that book in 2025. Another book that had been untouched for quite a while was Imagine. This is a mythographic book. This was the first mythographic book in my collection, and I also colored 2 pages in it, so that was really great. Another book that was untouched for a while was Enchanted Forest. This one was untouched for, I think, 3 years. So the fact that I was able to get back into this one was great, and I colored 3 pages in it, so that was really wonderful. And I also managed to color quite a few pages in Daydreams, which is my project book, so that was great. And I also managed to color some untouched books as well. So really pleased about all of the different books that I colored in 2025. Let's move on to the next question. Next question is, how many pages did you color in 2025? And I set a new record for myself, and I colored 64 pages. So that is more than last year. Last year I colored 58 pages. I do not like to set goals for myself. That is part of Karen's question. So I feel that if I set a goal to color X number of pages, I will stress myself out and I won't enjoy the process as much. So for me, just completing the pages and enjoying the process is enough of a goal, and I do not set goals for myself, and I will not be setting a coloring page goal for 2026 either. I have other goals that I have set, and I will try to achieve them, but I don't really want to make myself anxious by setting a coloring page goal. So yeah, I managed to color approximately 5 pages per month. So that's my average. Some months I color 6, some months I color 4, but overall I managed to color an average of 5, and that is pretty good because before I started keeping a coloring journal or a coloring planner, I managed to average 3 a month. So having this journal has really increased the number of pages that I finish per month, and I think that having the channel, which is also new, is also increasing my number of pages. So that is fantastic. So basically, the increase in number of pages is up to my viewers. So thank you all for contributing to the cause. All right, next question. Okay, the next question is community participation. How many buddy colors, hashtags, prompts, and challenges did you participate in this year? And the answer is quite a few. So let's just go back to my summary of the year page. One moment. Okay, so I participated in 27 buddy colors, 10 in the first half of the year and 17 in the second half. I participated in 123 prompts, and I also participated in a couple of hashtags so throughout the year. So I participated in the Color the Fairy Tales hashtag. Let me go to the back of my coloring journal because that's where I keep track of all of the hashtags that I participated in. So yes, I participated in the Color the Fairy Tales hashtag 2025 hosted by Jordy at Jordy Colors. So in January, I did the Snow Queen page. February, I did Little Red Riding Hood. March, I did Snow White. April, The Ugly Duckling. May, The Little Mermaid. June, Beauty and the Beast. July, Jack and the Beanstalk. August, The Wolf and Seven Goats. September, The Star Child. October, Cinderella. November, The Frog Prince, and December, The Nutcracker. This one is not actually the page I did. I said I was going to do the Animal Wonderland page. Then I was going to do the gift exchange in the Yusiku Year of Witches book. But in the end, I actually did the present pipeline in The Night Voyage by Daria Song. So this I have to fix. I have to change that. Yeah, overall, I did pretty well with that one. Another hashtag that I completed throughout the year was the Wild Year of Color. This one was hosted by Jamie at Finding Joy in Color. So in January, I colored a fox. In February, a bear. In March, a monkey. In April, a frog. In May, a zebra. In June, an elephant. July, a deer. August, an owl. September, a wolf. October, a bat. November, a rabbit. And December, a penguin. I think I might do a video showing all of the pages that I did for these hashtags. And I also participated in Elm Colors, Erica at Elm Colors. I participated in her hashtag, which was, let me just find it, which was the mythographic. Where is it? Hold on. Oh, but before then, I participated in the Coloring Checklist Challenge hosted by Color and Chat with Sammy. So hers is actually not yet finished. It's from March 2025 to March 2026. And I have colored quite a few of her prompts. I just have a few left, which I will try to complete in 2026. So I colored a lot of those. Oh, and here are my mythographic pages. So yeah, I colored 17 mythographic pages. Towards the end of the year, it was mainly in Dragonspell. So I colored the ice penguins in Frozen Fantasies, the panda and cub in Wild Winter, the whale in Imagine, the enchanted grove in Labyrinth, Harmony in Imagine, the dragon maid in Dragonspell, Foxy's tea party in Voyage, Page from the Past in Dragonspell, Mouse Guard in Dragonspell, Circus Carousel in Paradise, When Pigs Fly in Wild Summer, Dragon Fruit in Dragonspell, and Celestial Leo in Dragonspell, the Empress in Cosmic Spirit, the Dragon Summoner, the Candy Hoarder, and Sweet Pea Dragonling all in Dragonspell. So yeah, I'm going to, as I said, do a mythographic showcase so you can see all my colored pages from my mythographic books. Yeah, so those are all of the challenges and hashtags and prompts that I did in. Right, so the next question is how many works in progress do you have at the end of the year? And to be honest, I don't have that many because I tend to finish the pages that I start. Nevertheless, I did begin 2025 with quite a few whips. And I have managed to finish a number of them. So I had 13 at the beginning of 2025. No, I didn't. I had 11 at the beginning of 2025. I added these two as I was going along. And I managed to finish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I managed to finish 9 whips, and there are 2 uncolored and 2 that I gave up on. So I gave up on this Dreamtime Potions in the Coloring Heaven Dreamtime Special because I ruined the page, and the page itself is also in Spirit Animal, so I have another opportunity to color it. And I also gave up on the Sunken Ship in the Lost Ocean because I have destashed that book. I'm really not that, I'm really not such a fan of ocean pages to begin with, and I felt also that the pages in that book were really, really detailed with really, really tiny details, and I just found myself struggling with them. So I decided to destash it, even though I had colored quite a few pages in it, but I just wasn't feeling it anymore. Anyway, and then there are 2 pages that I didn't color from my 2025 list, and then I have a few pages that I have added in 2026, which I will show you now. Starting with the longest whip that I have in my collection, and it is in Creative Haven Steampunk Fashions with artwork by Marty Noble. And yeah, I think I started this one in 2024, and it just seems to have been put aside and forgotten about. So I wanted this page to look like she's standing in front of a ship's porthole. So that is what I have envisioned for this page. So here we have the sky that I've done and the ocean that I've done. I also colored this on a tutorial for how to color silver. And so I did color that this year. That's all the progress I've made on this page in 2025, but I think I'm going to try and finish it in 2026. So yeah, this is my oldest whip. The other whip from 2025 that remains is the Thomas Kinkade Painter of Light. So this is the page that I'm working on in this book. So yeah, in this book is beautiful. The artwork is lovely. The original artwork is lovely. But what's happened in order to make this book, I think what they did was they put Thomas Kinkade's paintings through a computer program that then translated it into line art, which means that it looks strange. Okay, so you've got these weird shapes all over the place, and coloring them is difficult. I originally wanted to try and copy the original artwork, but I don't think that I'm going to be able to do that. I think I will just do my own thing. So for this page that I have started, I have put down layers of Inktense. Okay, on the grass, on the roof, on the trees. This tree is actually done. So it's Inktense and Polychromos. And yeah, I just need to basically get over my apprehension with this book and just, sit down and color. So I'm going to try and do that also in 2026. We'll see if we are more successful than in 2025. Because it is a lovely book, and I do want to finish a page, or even at some point the whole book if possible, but I have to get over my fear of it. Okay, so that's that one. Then I have a couple of whips that are going to be finished very soon. So for example, this is, as I said earlier, the project book for the channel, and so I do have a whip in it, but it's the whip that we are working on for our Saturday snippets. And so it's this teapot. It will be finished sometime in January. We are using this color palette with some added colors here and there. So for example, I've added the gold in, and yeah, we are having a lot of fun coloring this page together in our Saturday snippets. Yeah, so there's that whip. Okay, another whip that will also be done very soon is in Mythomorphia by Kirby Rosannes. So there is this page that I'm working on, the double page spread. It is a Color With Me series up on the channel. We have colored the gradient sky, the mountains, and the snow so far, and there are videos for each one of that. And next up is the trees and the bridge. And then I think there'll probably be a separate video for the rest of the smaller elements on the page. And these are our color palettes that we are working with. Yeah, so that is another whip which will be done pretty soon. Okay, and then I have 2 more whips that might take a bit longer. So, for example, I have a whip in Jasmine Beckett Griffith's Halloween coloring book. So I started this page, which is called Autumn is My Last Chance. Okay, so I want to do her like a dark Snow White. So she's got the apple, and it's going to be in the woods with a really dark greenish background, and she'll have black hair and perhaps a red outfit. So this one is one that I've started and I will get back to hopefully in 2026. I don't really want to have too many whips languishing. I'd rather just get to them if possible. And another whip, this is the last one, is in Creative Haven by the Sea. This is a color by number book. This is a book that I work with whenever I need to just relax and not worry about choosing colors. And so I have a whip going that I color in every once in a while. And the one that I've started is this one. Okay, I'm calling it The Lizard's Adventures, because you have this cute little lizard on this page. He's adorable. So I've started the background, and that's as far as I have gotten. I will color this one, when I feel like relaxing and not worrying about choosing colors or anything like that. Right, so that is my whip in By the Sea by George Dufexis. There's also up on the channel a video where I show how I color in this color by number book. I show all my different techniques if you're interested. Okay, let's move on to the next question. The next question is, how many untouched books do you have in your collection at the end of 2025? And the answer is 39 books, which is 37.1% of my collection. So at the beginning of the year, I had, I will tell you, Sagan was the last book that I bought. So at the beginning of the year, I had 44 untouched books. And over the year, I have purchased all of these, and I also removed some. So for example, I removed Assassin's Creed from my collection. I removed Dark Fantasy, that was the Jade Summer book. I removed Woodland Fantasy, which I had in a PDF version. I just wasn't coloring these books. Nouveau Fairies, also a book that was uncolored. Witch's Cottage I didn't remove. I also removed a book called Nebulous Stars from my collection. I felt it was a bit too childish and not really my style. So yeah, some books were removed. Also some books that I had actually colored in and were touched books were also removed from my collection. I have this idea in my head that for every new book I purchase, I need to de-stash a book. So I try to keep to that, and I really want to keep my coloring book collection to below 120 books so that I can color the books that I actually have. So that's a goal that I have. So at this point, as I said, I have 39 untouched books in the collection, and I'm hoping to reduce that number in 2026. The next question is, do you have any completed books for 2025? And the answer is no. I have not completed any books this year. I did put a significant dent in Mythographic Dragonspell because I belong to a group on Instagram where we are coloring a page a month. And so I think we've done 7 so far. That is my most colored book in 2025. So I will be continuing that into 2026, and eventually that book will get finished. Next question is books added to your collection. So how many books did you add in your collection? So I added 28 books to my collection, but as I said, I also de-stashed quite a few. I'm not sure I de-stashed exactly 28, but I did de-stash quite a few to make room for those 28. So that's the number of books that I added to my collection. Next question is, what was your must-have book for 2025? So there were quite a few books that I wanted to purchase in 2025. And of course, I have a list because I have a list for everything. And so I listed the books that I was interested in and which ones I ended up purchasing. So as you can see, I got Dark Fairy Tales, and I got Dragonspell, and I got the Land of Little Adventures, or The Little Land of Adventures by Rita Berman. I can never figure out what the exact title of that book is. I also got Seasons by Maria Trolle. And then there are some books that I decided not to get. I have purchased this one. It has not yet arrived though. And so I am not including it in my final tally until it actually gets here. Anyway, and of course there are a couple of books that are coming out in 2026, but I will copy them over to my new books for 2026 list. Anyway, I digress. What was my most anticipated book for 2025? And it was indeed Dark Fairy Tales by Kirby Rosans. Hold on, I'm just going to get it. It's right next to me. Okay, so I am in love with this book. I adore it. First of all, I adore Kirby's books to begin with, and then he went and he made a book about all of my favorite fairy tales. So what's not to love, right? So yeah, Dark Fairy Tales by Kirby Rosans. This book is really beautiful. It's got his wonderful signature artwork, and then of course, I like the fact that he has taken these fairy tales and he's added his own twist to each and every one of them. So we've got Rapunzel, and we've got the 12 Dancing Princesses, and we've got Bluebeard, and we've got, I'm not really sure what this one is, still Bluebeard, I think. Then we've got Peter Pan, and we've got Sinbad, and The Little Mermaid, and so on. So for each one, he has added his own special and unique twist to the storyline, which I think is so original. And so I really love this book, and I'm coloring in it with a group on Instagram, and we've done 3 pages so far. But slowly but surely, we will do more of them, and eventually I will finish this book as well. Yeah, so I really love this book, and it was my most anticipated book of 2025. Yeah, the page that I just finished is this one. Sneak peek, it's going to be in my completed pages video. Or you might have already seen it in my completed pages video if you've watched that already. I don't know which one of these videos is going to be up first, the reflections or the completed pages. Okay, so yeah, my most anticipated book for 2025 was Dark Fairy Tales. Okay, so the next question is, what is your most reached for coloring supply of 2025? And for me, it is my Castle Arts pencils. So I love these pencils. I know that not everybody does, but for me, they work beautifully. They are both soft and hard at the same time. So they are a soft pencil, but you can also layer with them. So they are somewhere in between a Prismacolor and a Polychromos. And as you can see, some of mine are coming to an end. So for example, these 2 are already done. This one is reaching its last legs. As is this one and this one. So I'm using them up because I want to use these up before I purchase any new pencils, and I might even purchase another set of Castle Arts when I eventually use these up. We will see. Yeah, so I have the regular Castle Arts 120. This is the original set before they added names to the colors. And I have a feeling they changed the formula and that the new set is not as good. But I don't have any of the new sets, so I can't tell. I also have the pastel tints, which I love. And I have the Harmonious set as well, which I got this year, and I'm enjoying using them. They're really lovely colors. Yeah, so this was my most reached for medium in 2025. Next question is, which book did you color in the most in 2025? And for me, it is Dragonspell. So as I said earlier, I am in a group on Instagram where we are coloring in this book 1 page a month. I think we got the book in I want to say June. It might have been May, and so we've colored quite a few pages. There's even one page that I colored before I started coloring with the group. So the page that I colored before joining the group is this one. Yes, May, because I colored a page almost immediately. Yeah, so this is the page that I colored when I first got the book, and since then we have colored quite a few pages in the group. Again, I will show you all of my completed mythographic pages for 2025 in a separate video, so stay tuned for that. Next question is, what is your most challenging page for 2025? And for me, it is in Mythic World by Kirby Rosans. It seems on the surface to be such a simple page, but I think that I went for a technique that I wasn't that good at, and so it became a really challenging page. So this is the page that I found the most challenging. Hold on one second, my binding is coming off here. I will have to fix that. Anyway, so yeah, this is the title page for the Mythic World book, and it is Medusa. So I am a Patreon of Nekosimi, and she was showing this page where she used a technique with Neocolor 2s to create a gradient background. Okay, now I tried out her technique, and I was only moderately successful. I think that my blending between my gradient colors is not as smooth as it could be, and in the end I ended up throwing everything but the kitchen sink at this page. So I started out with Neocolor 2s, I tried water-soluble oil pastels, I tried Inktense, I tried paint, I tried all sorts of things, and at the end I put another layer of Neocolor 2s and just smudged it with my fingers, and yeah, this is the result that I got, and it is the best I can do for now. This is a technique that I'm going to have to practice doing again. After that, the rest of the page went pretty smoothly, so I really liked doing the snakes. They were actually my favorite part of the page. I based with Inktense, and then I shaded with my Castle Arts pencils, and I love the effect of the snakes that I got, and I really enjoy the color palette. So I think that the gold, purple, and the tealy blues work really nicely together. So overall, I like the page, but it was a real challenge for me, and again, a technique that I'm going to have to try out again and try to perfect. I think my issue is I need to use more water. Anyway, we will see. Right, so that's my most challenging page in Mythic World by Kirby Rosanes. Next question is a coloring book surprise. Was there a book or a page that surprised you in how much you enjoyed coloring it? And yes, I did have a page like that. So first of all, it's not the book. The book I love. Kanoko Igusa is one of my favorite artists, and I love coloring in Rhapsody in the Forest. So it's not the book that was a surprise. It's the page that I colored. So the page that I colored, it was for Jamie's hashtag, The Wild Year of Color, and it was to color a deer. So this is a page that I wasn't really thinking that I would color anytime soon because of the background. So it's got this detailed sweater, Christmassy sweater style background, and I wasn't really keen on coloring that. And so when I started coloring it, I wasn't expecting it to be very enjoyable. Nevertheless, once I started, it was such fun. So on the background, I used watercolor markers, okay? I scribbled it on the palette, and then I put it down onto the page. I waited for it to dry, and then I put another layer of watercolor markers and then pencil on top. So it really came out beautifully. And then I colored the reindeer. And as you know, I do love coloring animals, so that was actually my favorite part of coloring this page, was the animals and the snow. But for me, this sweater style background was not the most enjoyable, or I didn't think it would be the most enjoyable, but it surprised me and I enjoyed coloring it very much. So yeah, this was my surprise page for 2025 in Rhapsody in the Forest by Kanoko Igusa. Next question has to do with the channel, and it is how many videos did you create for the channel in 2025? So I first want to begin by saying that my channel is new. I started the channel in April of 2025, and I have had a blast ever since. I want to thank each and every person who has subscribed, commented, liked my channel or my videos, and I really appreciate every single one of you, and you are what makes this such fun. Right, so anyway, before I get all teary-eyed, how many videos did I film? I filmed 105 videos, and I had, as I said, a wonderful time doing it, and I look forward to continuing to film and to being with you all in 2026. So thanks again for being who you are and for making this coloring community so wonderful. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, next question is remaining with the channel, and the question is, what was your favorite video of the year? And for me, it was the grass tutorial. So I did a video where I showed how to color grass in my Dragon Spell book. So hold on one second, I will show you the page. So the page that I did the tutorial for was in Mythographic Dragonspell by Joseph Kattenbang, and this was the page. Okay, so I did a tutorial on the channel where I showed how to color this grass and the different techniques that I used, and it was the first video on the channel that got a really strong reaction. I had lots of views, lots of people commenting, lots of people liking, people writing to me and saying how much they enjoyed it and how much they learned from it. And so this ended up being my absolute favorite video of the year, and I hope to do many more like it, and I hope everyone enjoys them. So that was my favorite video of 2025. Next question is, did your coloring routine or your coloring habits change this year? And the answer to that is not really. So I have a process, and my process involves, once I know which page I'm going to color, I look for inspiration on Pinterest and I select some pages. I also look at different color palettes and select a color palette. Then I choose the pencils based on the color palette, and then I start coloring. And my process really is to first color the large elements on the page and then move on to the smaller elements. And very often, especially in mythographic books, I will do the background first, because I find that if I leave the background till the end, first of all, it's sometimes difficult to discern what the elements are on the page. And second of all, I run out of steam. So if I run out of steam and I haven't done the background, then I don't do a background and the page doesn't come out as well as I would have liked it to. So I don't really diverge from my coloring routine. That's what I usually do. But one thing that did change is that I colored more. So because of the journal that I have and because of the channel, I did color more than I usually do, which is great. Coloring more is fabulous. Okay, so moving on to the next question. Next question is, did you learn any new techniques this year? So of course I did, and I wrote them down in my journal. So one of the favorite techniques that I learned this year was to use watercolor markers for backgrounds, which I learned from Annika at Axis Fumbles. So I tried that out on several pages. For example, I tried it out on the reindeer page that I just showed you. Another technique that I learned from Olivia Odorant. She has this technique where she decorates flower bushes. So let me show you an example. Right, so the example of that technique that I learned from Olivier is in Wild Winter by Joseph Kattenbang, and it is on this panda page. So her technique I used on these bushes, okay, to make them look more fluffy. Yes, you color down with a pencil, and then you use acrylic marker dotted onto it, and then you smudge it with a Q-tip to make it look bushy, and then you can put more marker on top to give it a bit more texture. So this is a technique that I learned from Olivier, and I use it a lot in quite a few of my pages when I want to make the foliage look thicker. So I used it here, and I used it on several other pages that I worked on throughout the year. So that is actually the most helpful technique that I learned this year, although I did learn a few more. As I said, I learned the one from Annika. What else? Oh yes, and I learned a cool new, it's not really a technique, I suppose, but Jody from Jody Moments has given us 5 ways to use your color cubes. So I purchased the color cubes very recently, and I want to practice using them more, and I'm going to do the exercises that she recommends. So if you want to see her tips for using the color tubes, check out her channel. Very informative. Yeah, so next question. Okay, so next question is, what artist or colorist inspired your coloring this year? And the answer for me is the same every year. There are 2 colorists who inspire me all the time. One of them I just mentioned, it's Olivia from Coloring with Olivia. Her style matches mine perfectly. I learned so much from her, and many of the techniques that I use on all of my pages I have learned from her. And the other colorist that I love learning from, who really inspires me, her coloring is just absolutely gorgeous, is Elena Moskaleva from Coloring with Elena. Again, another colorist who I have learned so much from and whose coloring has inspired my techniques and inspired my own coloring. I don't color exactly the same as either one of these two artists, but there is a very definite inspiration in my pages based on their coloring. So those two are wonderful, and I again strongly recommend. The next two questions, any memorable moments related to your coloring and how did the coloring community impact your coloring, are related to each other for me, and they are connected to the beginning of my YouTube channel. So I started my YouTube channel this year and it has been such an enjoyable experience. I have loved every single moment of it, and the reason it has been so special for me is because of the members of the coloring community. I have been welcomed with open arms. Established YouTube colorists and artists have really embraced me and encouraged me throughout this process, and it has been absolutely fabulous. Not only the established colorists, but new and upcoming upcoming colorists have also contributed to the experience. We have a wonderful channel on Instagram. Sorry, not a channel, a group on Instagram where we encourage each other to film videos, to watch videos, to do live streams, to give advice and tips for what to do on our channels, and it's just been marvelous. So again, thanks to each and every one of you who have made my channel what it is. I truly, truly appreciate it. Okay, so let's move on. The next question is, what was a proud learning moment? A moment where you challenged yourself creatively, and how did it work out? So my proud moment is in Small Victories by Johanna Basford. One of the pages that we worked on our Saturday Snippets feature is this Garden Friends page. So on this page, I used stencils for the very first time. So I used a stencil for the brick path and a stencil for the watercolor honeycomb. And this is actually where my proud learning moment was. So I'd always known just how unpredictable watercolor is and that you just have to let it do what it wants. But this experience really drove that home for me. So I used watercolors on the different honeycomb elements, and I wanted to get this gradient, and then I shaded with a pencil on top, and I just needed to do what the watercolor wanted. I just needed to let it go, and it was so, I don't know, freeing. And that was a really important moment for me. I learned that that is what art is. You just need to let it go and relax and enjoy the process. So that was a really important moment for me. I think there are two more questions. Okay, so the next question is, what are your coloring plans for 2026? First of all, I'd like you to please ignore the gobbling dog in the background. It wouldn't be a video on my channel if Toby didn't put in an appearance. So here we are at the end of this video, and he's here. Anyway, so my coloring plans for 2026. First of all, I have my new coloring do-it-yourself planner, and I have already put it together. So yeah, I took some ideas from Ruby Charms Colors planner that I used a couple of years ago, some ideas from Amanda Colors planner, and of course kept spreads that I enjoyed using last year in my own planner. And this is the spread that I have right now for my focus goals for 2026. First of all, I want to color in 12 untouched books. I wanted to color 12 cat pages, 6 title pages for Jess from Coloring Bumblebees, Tackle the Title Pages hashtag. And then I'm going to have work each month on my focus books. I'm going to work with my Creative Haven hashtag. There's a video up on the channel explaining that. The Mythographic Collective group that I'm in and hosting, we are going to be doing a book every month. Then there is Joe from Piggy Pens and Holly from Hollyberry Colors have a hashtag, Dark versus Light. I'm going to try and participate in that every month. And there's also a Japanese Korean book group that is being hosted by Annika from Axic Fumbles and Maria from Colorful Mother of Three that I want to participate in, and I'm leaving some space for some additional ones that I find at the beginning of the year. So those are my plans for now, and I might have some other ones. Of course, I want to continue working in my pages, and sorry, not in my pages. I want to continue working in my planner and also focus on the channel. So yeah, that's what I will be doing in 2026. Okay, and last but not least, the final question is what products or books are you looking forward to for 2026? So of course, I already have a list of the books that I'm interested in getting in 2026. So we have a couple of mythographics, Alice in Wonderland by Joseph Katzenbang, Fairy Folklore by Fabiana Atanasio. I just learned that Maria Trolle has a new book coming out in 2026, The Magical Library. There's also Tales from the Castle Ruins by Hannah Carlson, Fantasy World by Emily Liederhol Oberg. And in terms of products, I am saving up to purchase the full set of the Derwent drawing pencils. Those pencils are simply amazing, and I have a small set of 24, and now I want to get the larger set so that I can use those in my coloring books. All right, so thank you so much for joining me as I have reflected over my journey through 2025. A huge thank you once again to Karen from My Colorful Country Life for all of these wonderful and insightful questions. I hope that you've enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you all in 2026. Happy New Year to you all. Bye for now.